So we're here with my father again, and now we're going to talk about 2002, when we decided that we'd had enough of the Bonanza. We'd been used to twin engines, and we decided we were going to move on from the Bonanza and get what and why, Dad?
Well, I wanted to have a twin engine airplane because it's really depressing if you lose one engine, and with a twin you're going to keep going. The nice thing about the 310P, and that's kind of what I was looking for, is that it's got all the upgrades that the 310 had at that time, and it's a very good short field airplane because the wing's about 4 inches or 6 inches higher than it is in the Baron that I had for a number of years. And the second thing is it's about 6 inches wider in the cabin, so you got more room inside, and it's a nice 6-place airplane. So I was looking around, and I heard about this 310. It was down in Kelso, Washington, and owned by a guy named Pearson or so, who was worked in a prison as a drug helper. And so he had that down there being refurbished and getting ready to sell. And this is the airplane here in Kelso. Jeff and I went down there in our little IROC and to check it out. And I'm going to go on the large here. And then it was just absolutely pristine. We were looking at the seats and everything was out of it, so you could really look at the 310 and see what kind of shape it was in. And it was very good.
Yeah, really, really clean.
Yeah, and when I ended up getting this airplane in a while, I did redo the interior of all the baggage areas there behind the engine, which is another great thing about the 310 is the fact that it's got all that room there in the wing lockers.
Yeah, and that started in 1964. The Cessna added the wing lockers. The P model, why it's so significant is it's got the 400 series nose gear, which is really important.
Right.
It's a lot more rugged. It's a straight down pylon versus the canted pylon, which tends to, when you see videos on TV of people belly landing or nose down on their 310, they were susceptible gear if you don't rig them correctly. But anyway.
Yeah, this is the original radius I had, which I replaced them all over time owning this airplane. And you can see how clean it was on the inside, and he was spending a lot of money to get it redone. And there's the autopilot there on the right side portion of it, instrument panel, and pretty nice. And one of the nice things that I liked about it was where the instrumentations were set up and the control cycles and all that. Now this is the back end of the wing tank, where this is a pump here area that pumps the water. So when you're in low fuel and you're at a very high angle of attack, it'll pump fuel from the back of the tank up forward, so the engines keep running. This thing also had two 20-gallon ox tanks, too, in the wings. And
it was also plumbed for another 40 gallons in the wing lockers if you wanted, so you could have 180 gallons.
Yeah. The 140 did pretty good.
Yeah.
This is the heating system here. And
they have an hour meter on it.
Yeah. It does a pretty good job, but it makes me nervous because, it takes gasoline to heat it with. And so we went through, this is where the avionics area is in the airplane. Looking at the part of the gear section of the nose gear. And air filters for the vacuum system. That's Pearson. I'm not sure.
Batteries.
Yeah. Two 12-volt batteries for a 20-volt system. And you can see the thing is in pretty good shape.
Yeah, very clean. He did a lot of work to it. Put a lot of chrome screws in it, different hardware. Looks like that's the end of those pictures. But
yeah.
So how did so once you inspected the airplane, I know there was a little bit of a delay as far as making that happen.
Yeah, then I got a hold of him and I offered him, I don't know, $65,000 or something like that for the airplane. And he said, no, I don't think so. So he decided not to sell it to me for that. And about 5 or 6 months pass, and then I get a call from him, And now he's got the airplane all put back together. It's now located at Tacoma Airport. And so come on and take a look. So I did, and it looked pretty dang good as a completed airplane. And all together and so forth. But now he wanted $90,000. But I couldn't resist it, and so I...
Well, what did he want originally?
65.
But you offered him 65.
I did. He decided not to sell it.
Oh, really? Oh, he wanted 65. You offered him 65. He said no.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he thought, well, gee, somebody told him that, well, you get it done, you'll get under $30,000, and he probably spent $20,000, going through the thing and fixing all the upholstery and all that.
All right. Okay. That's the story.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, I was happy to pay $90,000 because the engine had about 800.
You paid 80.
Huh?
Oh, did you pay 90?
I paid 90.
Oh, you told him 80 and he said nope?
No.
Okay.
90 is what anyway, I got it. And so I went over and he flew it over to Crest Air Park and I went up in my Bonanza and I led him back into the airport and to our hangar and all that. And then I flew him back home in the Bonanza. And he took me up in the thing and get a little bit of dual time. But I already had, probably 900 hours in an older 310 anyway, so pretty comfortable.
And it feels pretty much the same.
Yeah. And so as we get into our next chapter, we're talking about upgrading the thing and with electronics. That was one of the things I wanted to improve it on. And I probably spent another $30,000 in putting in new radios and stuff like that, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, beautiful airplane. We love that airplane.
Anyway, so that first year I had it, got it completed. It was early in 2003, and we probably flew it. Well, we took it to Oshkosh and
that year.
Yep, and all around the country. So got a lot of time in it and so forth. And then I wanted to upgrade my instrument rating in it, but.
Well, we'll come back and we'll talk about the avionics stuff that you did, and there's a lot of stuff happened the first couple of years of having that airplane, and it was we can get a little bit more into other details about the 310 too in general.
Yeah.
But that's great. All right, Dad. Thank you.
Okay. Have a good one.